Hello and welcome to another Bodgit and Leggit video. Today I'm doing a kind of a special request. This one goes out to Damien. Damien, thanks for watching my videos, mate. Hope you're having a good time. Now, his dad asked me to just show him. He's doing a timing belt on his Opel Vectra. He's got a 1.8 Opel Vectra. The engine code is Z18XER. It's 140 horsepower, but that's by the by. And he's doing the timing belt the next few days. He just wanted me to run through where the timing belt marks were and things like that, and just kind of basically run through it. So I said I would. So as you can see, this is basically our timing belt setup. We have the two top cams, the bottom cams have an idler here, and the tensioner is here. Now, there's a couple of things we need to run through with this particular car. We've got a twin cam car, so in other words, there's two cams at the top. And unfortunately on this one there is no pin that can go all the way through to lock the cams, and there only appears to be one mark, which is on this side, and it's at 3 o'clock, and there is a mark on the bottom pulley at 6 o'clock. So what I suggest you do, I was talking to him about getting a universal cam locking tool. You can check them out, they are quite cheap. You can get special locking tools for a specific car, but you can also get a universal locking tool which will allow you to lock both the cams, and you don't really have to worry about it. But it also does say you need to lock, there's a special tool for locking the flywheel. Now, you don't need the special tool for locking the flywheel. You see in my other videos I've used a screwdriver and I put it on the flywheel, between the flywheel and the gearbox, and I've actually locked the bottom crank that way. I've never ever had a problem doing it that way. Tipex again is going to be your best friend. What I suggest you do is you turn the engine to these lines to these lines line up, and then you Tipex everything. Now what you do have to be aware of is when you actually, hope this is going to come through, when you actually turn your bottom crank, hopefully you can see that I've put a little Tipex mark here and a Tipex mark right at the top. Now when you turn your engine around, and let's say, as we can see now, that bottom mark is lined up, but the top mark is 180 degrees off. Because always remember, it's two turns of this to one turn of your top cam. So turn it around again. So what I'm trying to say is, if you line up your bottom mark but your top marks don't line up, don't worry about it. Turn the engine again, another full revolution. As you can see, that mark and the top mark, oh, my timing belt's coming off. That mark and that mark are lined up. So, just turn it around until all the marks line up. Like I said, not necessarily just because this mark is lined up doesn't mean your top marks are lined up. If you've got a diesel, you've got a diesel pump, so you've got an extra mark to line up. So once you've turned your engine, so your bottom cam is 6 o'clock, this cam here, so your bottom crank is 6 o'clock, and this cam lines up with the 3 o'clock mark. What I suggest you do is get the cam locking tool and lock the two top cams. Mark everything with Tipex. The way I like to do it is, once I've got my marks, again you'll see in my other videos, I put 2 lines of Tipex on each cam. So then if anything does move, you know exactly where your marks are. Use that special cam locking tool to lock both your top cams. That means your top cams can't move. Again, I put Tipex, depending on where it is in the engine, depending on, I might be able to get it here, or I might have to go here. It just depends. So again, 2 marks of Tipex on there, line up with your bottom mark, and use a screwdriver to lock your bottom flywheel. And once you've lined everything up with Tipex, your tensioner, depending on which brand of timing belt kit you get, I can't be 100% sure on your tensioner, but normally they're either you just pull the pin and it self-tensions, or you just get, there's a little mark on the tension sometimes, you just have to twist it, and that lines up with another little pin, and they both line up so you know you've got the correct tension. It just depends on your tension, so I can't really go through that unless I know what tension you've got. Also, your fan belt tensioner, once you take your fan belt off, you can lock the fan belt tensioner, lock that out of the way, get it out of your way, because it can kind of get in the way of the timing belt, but that's not really that important of an issue. So that really is basically it. All timing marks or all timing belts, they're more or less the same. It's just some cars are a lot more awkward to get into. If you have a diesel, you have an extra pulley here, which is normally your pump timing. Now some cars, the pump timing could be on a separate belt. It just, again, it depends on your car. But on a petrol car, most petrol cars are more or less the same. They might have one cam or two cams. It does, it just depends on your car. So hopefully that kind of, runs through. Obviously I haven't got the car here, so I can't go through everything, but I'm just giving you an idea of where your timing marks are, what I would do with locking the cams. I would lock the top cam. I would put the screwdriver in the flywheel, because once you put the timing belt on and try and tension it, nothing can move, and if nothing can move, you're going to get it right straight away, and it's going to save you an absolute, well, it's going to save you a shitload of time really, because you're not having to take the time belt on and off again. The cam locking tools, yes, you can spend a fortune on them, but you don't have to. I did see one very cheap, so if you put universal cam locking tool into the search engines, you will find one. Alternative, you can buy the proper kit for the car, but the problem is with buying the proper kit for the car, they are very expensive and they only work for that specific car, so it's kind of really a waste of money, unless you're doing a hell of a lot of them. So yeah, that's kind of basically it. I hope it helps. If you have any questions, just give me a bell, and yeah, have fun. You and Damien have fun doing it, especially if it's a nice day. So look, hope it helps. Thumbs up and subscribe, and don't forget, get your hands dirty. See you for the next one.